Hey, mate!
Police! Stop, stop, stop! Help!
Okay, call about an assault, sir.
Yeah, my mother's been bashed. She's inside.
Calm down and take
Quick,
us inside.
quick.
Okay,
Stop!
I don't think so, mate.
Okay, get off me.
Mount Thomas 208 to Mount Thomas Station. We've apprehended a possible suspect in the assault on Pearson Street.
Call an ambulance, Mount Thomas 208 to DKC. Request urgent ambulance assistance at 13 Pearson Street. One elderly female with serious head injuries. Sir, just try not to move. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Stanford, George Stanford.
George.
This is my mother, Vera.
Try not to move. Anything could be broken. All right, can you please get me a blanket for the ambulance? We've got to keep it warm until I get here. Thank you. Vera, it's okay, Vera. Are you right? Yeah. A weapon's been used to do this. Okay.
You're right now. You're safe. You're safe now. She's not going to hurt you anymore. She's not going to.
What? She?
Wasn't the attacker a man?
Oh, no. It was a woman who did this. She must have broken in here. I saw her running off. Ma.
George, it's all right. We just calm down. Can I get a quick description of this woman from you, please, George? Just over here.
She was medium build, sort of longish blonde hair, and well, she was quite attractive actually.
A man.
Right, okay. Now,
I kept just.
you're all right.
But
Now,
he kept on punching.
And she wouldn't listen.
can
and
you
now
give
this-
us a description at all?
No.
It's okay. Take your time. No. You're okay. You're okay. All right.
You have to hurt
It's okay.
me.
Thank you, George.
Good on you.
Oh, I've got your bag, Ma.
Thanks, fellas.
I'll give you a hand.
I'm sorry, sir. Stand back. There's a crime. Stand back, please.
You can't stop me going in my own house. I live here.
No, who are you, sir?
Frank Adams. I live here. What's going on?
Take Mr. Rees through the interview room, thanks.
Can I have a cup of coffee, please?
Yeah, we'll see. Mr. Adams, to my office, thanks, sir. Maggie?
How long will I have to wait?
Shouldn't be too long, sir.
Just through.
So, which is the one who assaulted Vera Stanford?
Well, he's denying any connection to the assault and the burglary, but he's got a mark on his face. It could be Vera's blood if we're lucky.
Dash is out coordinating the door knock area. Hopefully somebody saw something that's going to help us.
All right, do you want to hear about Troy's prize? Nothing much for the last little while. And then 12 months ago, attempted rape on an elderly lady. Got to court, but no conviction. The victim refused to identify him.
I was just out for a jog. When someone starts chasing me down the street for no reason, I get a bit nervous.
Oh, even when they're wearing a police uniform?
Especially then.
Do you know anything about this?
No, I've never seen it before.
Well, your accomplice is using that survey to get inside people's homes.
I was just out for a jog. I don't have an
Well, I
accomplice.
think that you're involved in the burglary and assault of Vera Stanford this morning, Troy.
No, I wasn't.
We intend to prove that you were. Now, we also need to get a sample of that mark on your face.
What mark?
No, we'll get a court order and we'll get it tested by forensic, won't we?
I'd like a lawyer, please.
Sure.
Peter Conway, James Tulloch, Sally Downey. I'll take the chick.
She was lovely. She wasn't involved in what happened to me.
Of course she was, Ma. She's been preying on elderly people all over town.
Mr. Stanford, your mother's actually the first person to be attacked during these burglaries, and we're very much hoping that she can remember what happened.
She was at the door with the survey. She came in. I gave her a cup of tea. Then I heard a noise. I went out. That's when he hit me.
Ma.
Mrs. Stanford.
Look, She's very keen for this man to be caught. I'm sure she'll identify him.
George,
Hmm?
do you know a gentleman by the name of Frank Adams at all?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. He lives with me and my mother. Where is he?
Well, he's at the station. He arrived at the house, but because you hadn't mentioned him...
Well, we moved back to Mount Thomas together. I was so caught up with what happened, I forgot to mention it.
Right, and was he with you this morning before you came back to the house?
Yes, we had breakfast together, and then Frank had to run some errands.
But, today I missed breakfast.
Because of your errands?
Hmm?
Your errands?
No. George and I had a fight before the meals arrived. I decided I needed some air, so I went for a walk. You saw me when I came back.
Well, that's funny because Mr. Stanford didn't mention anything about a fight.
And, George doesn't like arguments. But when you spend 24 hours a day with someone, you're bound to disagree sometimes. Yeah?
Mr. Adams, can anybody vouch for your whereabouts from the time you left the cafe to the time you arrived home?
Actually, I don't really know anybody in Mount Thomas, apart from George and Vera. You'll just have to take my word for it.
Here, you've got a client for me.
Can I just see for a moment before you go in?
Sure.
Listen, his record shows a tendency to extreme violence against women. His last victim was so intimidated, they couldn't make the case.
Perhaps he wasn't guilty. Tom, you can't just assume things because you have a particular feeling about someone.
Sally,
you, of all people, should know that.
He asked for you particularly because...
Oh, yes.
Well, in his words, he said, I'll take the chick.
Oh, dear. And he got me.
Well, it's not a joke.
Tom, I can look after myself.
I don't know.
We shouldn't even be having this conversation now. I'd like to meet my client.
Oh, you're going to love him.
Oh, Tom.
So, you say you've never met the girl I described to you before, hmm?
Unfortunately, no.
And you've never been inside Vera Stanford's house?
No again. Can I go to the toilet, please?
Oh, well, actually, we need to get a sample of that mark on your face. A court order's been applied for. We don't want it to get, contaminated.
I'm being as cooperative as I can and they won't even let me go to the toilet. I've been here for hours.
I'd have to agree with Mr. Reese. You have no grounds to deny him basic rights.
Well, if he destroys physical evidence, I'd say that's pretty good grounds.
It's only supposition it's evidence at this point.
I think we can accommodate your client's request.
Oh.
Aren't you going to help me?
Good manage.
What are you going to do now?
See the plan she's got.
Sergeant? Did you see his face? Did you see his face? Now, your client has destroyed physical evidence. Now, any chance of linking him to Vera Stanford is gone.
Well, I'm sorry you're not able to make your case. But unless you can find something concrete, you're going to have to let Mr. Reese go.
No, that's where you're wrong. We're getting a warrant.
Welcome.
Hello? Mate, either you've got a rather quirky sense of dressing or there's a woman living here. You sure you don't know the girl that I described to you before?
I picked up a girl at the pub last night who looks nothing like the girl you described. She asked if she could stay here and I said yes.
Cool.
So you've searched Mr. Reese's home. There's no physical evidence to involve him in those burglaries. None at all. You have to let him go.
I want him in a lineup.
You're clutching at straws. And I advise you not to comply with that request.
Well, if he's so adamant that he had nothing to do with the burgs or the assaults, no problem then.
I think you have your answer. So unless there's something else...
A lineup? Sure, why not? I just want to help.
Vera, just take as much time as you need. Just look at the men in the lineup. You make up your mind.
Mrs. Stanford, it's not going to be easy. That's what most people find the most difficult about this, is having to go face to face with the person that attacked them.
Ma, look, we talked about this, remember? He hurt other old ladies and you wanted to stop him. Besides, Frank and I will be there to make sure he's safe.
You can't be there all the time.
Well, we'll find a way to be. We'll take turns if we have to.
Vera, we need your help. It's okay.
The man who attacked me, he isn't there.
You sure, Vera?
I'm sorry.
He was threatening her. You saw the way he looked at her.
We can't charge him with looking at her. You're going to have to come up with something a bit more solid than that.
Well, we did have solid evidence until his lawyer let him wash it. All right, we'll get a photo board and then we'll go back to it.
Good idea. We've got nothing to lose, and Vera might feel a bit better about the distance it gives her.
I just don't know how Sally can defend something like that, really.
It's her job to defend her client.
Ben, do you want to help us set up a photo board?
Yeah, I'll grab the books. Ah, Mr. Stanford, nice to see you. We're actually putting a photo board together for your mother to have a look at.
Look, she was completely traumatised by the whole lineup. She just wants to forget everything.
No, listen, I understand, but
No,
without your help...
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Detective. No, absolutely not.
Hey, how'd you go? No, nothing so far. We've been to St David's. No one's seen anyone matching that description.
Hey, PJ, I was wondering if we could check the area around Mrs. Stanford's house for a jumper or a tracksuit type. Because when I caught up with Troy, he didn't have any blood on his clothes. And if he had bashed Vera Stanford, he would have been covered in the stuff.
No, that's a good idea. I mean, if he did, forensic can check for Vera's blood. Good idea, Jack.
He could have chucked the jumper over the fence or anything when he was running away. Maggie, do you want to finish this up? I'll take over from Jack and Dash and do the rest of the second-hand dealers. We'll get in.
Chamois and elbow grease. Nothing works better.
Benny, look, I really need your help, mate. Look at this list. Has anyone tried to sell you anything on it?
Cutlery, pewter beer stein, cultured pearl necklace, antique jade brooch. The girl was in here earlier. You just missed her.
Can I see the brooch? Where is it?
No, I didn't buy it. Beautiful piece, but there's not much demand for that
Okay,
sort of thing.
can you describe what did she look like, mate?
Woman in her early 20s.
Right.
Maybe a bit younger.
Okay. Coloured hair?
Long hair, blondish.
Right. And tall, short, what?
Medium, I suppose.
Okay, and exactly how long ago was she here, mate?
Just a couple of minutes ago. I sent her over to Valentino's at Pearson Street.
Good on you. Mount Thomas 203 to Mount Thomas Station.
Checked all the backyards, nothing.
Well, he's probably hidden it somewhere not so obvious. You want to check again?
No, we should go back. Do you want to tell them that we can't find anything?
Yeah.
Hey, mate, what you got there?
My magic cake.
A magic cake, yeah? It's fantastic. Someone spilled a bit of strawberry jam on it. Do you reckon I could borrow this for a bit? Get it cleaned or something? Thanks, mate.
Hi, I've just been to a second-hand dealer who seemed to think that you might be interested in that.
It's a nice piece. Where did you get it?
Oh, it actually belonged to my grandmother. Look, I just really need some money.
I'll just get my jeweler to take a look. Just wait there. Could you take a look at this, please?
Hello.
Hi.
Whoa, it's very pretty.
Yeah, I know.
Shame it's stolen. So why are you in Mount Thomas, Belinda?
Oh, I'm on holidays.
Yeah, where are you from?
Staying with friends. Oh, I'm from Bendigo, actually. I live with my dad. I'm going home tomorrow.
Belinda, whereabouts did you get this brooch from?
I found it in the street.
Where exactly?
Oh, it was somewhere around the supermarket. I don't really remember. I didn't know it was stolen.
But you decided to sell it, you didn't think of handing it in?
Recognise this clipboard?
No.
No? Well, it's a copy of a survey used to distract your victims while Troy Reeves robbed them.
Who?
Belinda, are you sure you didn't help Troy assault Vera Stanford?
No.
No? Okay, you ever seen this jacket before?
No, I haven't.
You know the old lady had to be hospitalised because of the beating that Troy gave her?
I don't even know who this Troy guy is.
Well, we've also got witnesses who've seen you and given us your description from other burgs, and we can get your fingerprints off this survey.
Look, I'm really sorry about the old lady, but I don't know how she got hurt. She was all right when I left.
Right, so you have been inside the house.
Yeah, I took some things, but I didn't hurt anyone.
Belinda, why are you protecting him? Has he threatened you?
No one threatened me. I was on my own. Is that all?
Yep. I'll just get you to take those with you. I don't know what Troy has got over that girl, but she's obviously freaked out enough to take the rap for the robberies.
That doesn't prove that Troy intimidated Vera Stanford. If the girl's not even prepared to admit that she knows him, it doesn't help us at all.
No, she knows him. Look, forensic aren't going to have results on that jacket for a couple of days. They could both shoot through.
You know, it's a shame that we cancelled the surveillance on the caravan when Belinda was called in, because now is when we need to keep the pressure on.
All right, let's reinstate it.
What's the saying? If the vans are rocking, don't come and knock it.
Maybe they're just making up. Maybe not.
Shut up and get back inside. I don't want to hurt you again.
Come here. Come on, stand up. You all right?
You must know her pretty well to be beating her up like that, eh?
You all right?
Why are you harassing me like
We're
this?
not the ones doing the harassing, Mr. Rees. Your girlfriend is terrified of you.
You're misunderstanding the situation.
I'm sure.
It's private between the two of us. Nothing to do with you.
Right, now, why did you lie about knowing Belinda Carmichael?
I didn't think it was any of your business. I haven't known
But
her
you
long.
got to lie about the burglaries, didn't you? Eh?
No, I don't like liars.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You like beating up women, though. Now, we're going to need to take a blood sample.
No, you can't take my blood. Can I go now?
We're suggesting an intervention order which will stop him coming anywhere near you. But you have to make the decision to leave him.
I don't want him charged, though.
We're going to be instituting an order against him, whether you have him charged or not.
Oh, but you can't. He really scares me.
Listen, if you tell us about the burbs, he'll never lay a hand on you again, I promise. Promise.
He had nothing to do with the burglaries.
Belinda, you are not going to be safe until he is locked up.
Yeah, but what if you can't lock him up? What if I give you what you want and then he's still out there?
We'll look after you. We will.
Like you looked after the old lady. I don't know. I'm going home, okay? I can't do this.
I strongly advise you not to go back to the caravan.
Okay, so, where am I going to go then?
Chris! Hi. This is Belinda, and we just wondered if you had a room for a couple of days.
Well, I could probably fix something up. Why don't you come with me, Belinda, and I'll settle you
On
in.
you, Chris. See, Belinda?
Fantastic. Now Reese is going to get away with both the sides.
Just leave it.
I'll see you in a
Come and
minute.
have a drink with us, Pete.
Sally? Your client has just had an intervention order taken out against him for bashing his girlfriend.
Is there some reason you're telling me all this?
No, I just thought you'd like to know. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. We had to bring her here so she'll still be alive tomorrow.
PJ, that's enough.
Well, that's very interesting, PJ. That doesn't make him guilty of the other offence.
Well, if he's innocent, why won't he give us a blood sample? And why did he wash the blood off his face?
Maybe your tactics put him on the defensive. You can't just lock up anyone suspected of a crime.
Sally, you know he's guilty.
PJ, that is way out of line.
You sleep at night. I don't.
I don't have to listen to this. You know, I'm just so tired of being treated like the enemy for protecting my client's rights.
I'll talk to you in the morning.
Thanks.
Listen, I'm really sorry about PJ's behaviour. It's just there's some cases that get right up your nose, and your client happens to be one of them.
Yeah, fine, but I'm just here to make sure he follows the law.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he will.
Enough of that. Do you want to come in for coffee?
If you're sure.
Yeah.
Good.
What's that?
Yeah, just wait here. What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my lawyer. What are you doing here?
I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. Your client.
Did you see that? That's assault.
Would you like to tell Miss Downing what you're doing peeping in her window?
Do I have to answer any of his questions? He's off duty.
No, you don't, but I'd like you to answer mine. What were you doing?
Well, his detective and another cop were hanging around outside my house and they're trying to take my girlfriend away.
All right, you come to the office in the morning. We'll talk about it then.
Well, how do I know I'm going to be safe?
Miss Downing has said she'd like you to leave.
I didn't hear her say that.
I'll see you in the morning, Troy. Go home.
I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Sweet dreams.
All right, you were right. All the doors and windows are secure.
Stop fussing, Tom.
I still think you ought to charge him with being unlawfully on premise.
You're overreacting.
I don't think I am. That bloke is dangerous. I mean, what's he doing hanging around your house in the first place?
Yeah, but it's not just my house, it's also where I work.
That is not answering the question.
Look, he was waiting to see me. Now, I have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Tom, I can look after myself.
I'm not suggesting for a minute that you can't.
Yes, you are. I don't need protection. It is not necessary.
I'm just worried about you being here on your own.
Well, I'm used to being on my own.
You don't have to be. I could stay.
Well, it depends. I mean, would you be staying to protect me or because you want to?
Well, couldn't we factor in a bit of both?
Tom Croydon. Oh, you're a hard man to say no to.
Morning, everybody.
Oh, my treats from the Brown Owl. What brings this on, I wonder?
Just that it's a beautiful day and my loving and caring nature, nothing more.
And a wonderful evening, perhaps, boss?
If you must know, McKinley, yes, last night was a good evening with Sally, but I think that comes under the heading of none of your business.
Great, well, make coffee. Who wants one?
PJ.
Here we go. Look, I know how you feel about Sally, but she's defending...
She's doing her job. Whatever we think about Troy Reeves, he is entitled to the best possible defence.
Well, now you're starting to sound like her.
I beg your pardon?
Are you sure your personal relationship isn't getting in the way?
That is none of your business. What I'm talking about here is professionalism, and you showed a distinct lack of it last night.
Well, if professionalism means letting Troy Reeves get off on some technicality,
Listen, we all
then I don't want
want
any
to
part
get
of it.
whoever did this, but by fixating on Troy Reeves, you are ignoring other suspects. Now, you're a good detective, PJ, but you're getting a bit one-eyed about this.
I expect to be backed up here, not lectured.
If you expect me to back you up, then find some solid evidence to back up your theory, behave in an acceptable manner, and we'll see.
So we're going to just let this little bastard walk all over us in front of us,
Listen.
make us look like idiots. Is that what we're going to do?
Don't let him push you into doing something he may make you regret later.
Sorry to interrupt. George Stanford just called. His mother died late last night, heart attack.
Poor Vera.
Right, now it's murder.
A pathology report on Vera Stanford.
Jack. Facial injuries, lacerations, torn skin, extensive contusions and bruising, possibly consistent with the use of a weapon. Right.
Couldn't they be more specific about what kind of implement?
Well, they're doing what they can, but the pathologist who conducted the autopsy said that the skin of an elderly person tears like tissue paper, so it's really hard to narrow it down.
She did rule out a knife or anything as heavy as a hammer, so it could be anything in between.
How about we go back to the house and research it for the weapon?
If he had time to chuck a jacket, he would have had time to drop something heavier.
All right. Bag anything and everything you can find.
Why has everything changed all of a sudden?
Frank, my mother is dead!
We have talked about this till we're blue in the bloody face! Even though she's gone, you still can't get up from under her shadow.
Well, is it too much to ask for some sympathy?
Well, you know, the funny thing is that even though she's gone, she's still got what she wanted,
Go,
didn't
Frank,
she?
go.
What do you want?
Well, obviously it's a bad time, but we came to offer our condolences, but,
Mr. Adams, can I ask you where you're going?
I'm going to Melbourne. Don't know what the hell I was doing here in the first place.
Oh.
I suppose a garden stake's out of the question.
I don't know. Jeez, I never thought I'd be pining for a good old-fashioned search, but it sure helps when you know what you're looking for.
Unbag this.
What's he doing here?
What brings you here, Troy?
Just checking out the sights.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the area, thanks.
It's a public street.
Got a legitimate reason for being here?
I don't need a legitimate reason to walk down the street. As far as I know, I'm free to go wherever I want. And you can't do a thing about it. You looking for something? Well, I hope you find whatever it is. Oh, and I heard the old cheese died. Pity, eh? No, I'd never hit a woman. Unless she asked for it. Some of them do, you know. You can always pick them. Acting Sergeant Maggie Doyle looks like the type who wouldn't mind a sound thrashing.
PJ, PJ!
Leave him, mate. Let him go. Let him go.
You're a menace, mate. I reckon you got real violent tendencies.
Move on, thanks, mate.
I don't know what my lawyer's got to say about this police harassment. I'm gonna go talk to her now.
Mount Thomas 508 to Mount Thomas Station.
Go ahead, PJ.
Boss, Troy just turned up at the Stanford house. He's pretty worked up and he's on his way to Sally's.
We'll see about that! Hey! Oi!
Oh, what are you doing here?
I just wanted to ask Mr. Reese the same question.
I'm talking with Miss Downey. Is that against the law?
When you're so clearly threatening her, I think it is.
Mr. Reese is just leaving.
I'd be very happy to show him to the front door.
I can go without your help.
Things are getting pretty bad when a lawyer has to be protected from her own client.
Troy Reese is no longer my client.
I can't say I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all very well for you people to get all emotional about all this. I don't happen to have that luxury.
He didn't have this problem until he actually threatened you personally.
Oh, Tom, you think I enjoy dealing with somebody like
No,
that? Defending him?
No.
You know, I mean, he comes in here, stands over me, demanding I help him get back some ring or other that he's lost, threatening
Ring?
me.
What ring?
Oh, no. Forget I said that.
Sally, this poor old lady's face was ripped apart. We've been out looking for an assault weapon, but it's this ring he's talking about, isn't it?
Oh, Tom, no, I shouldn't have said anything.
Troy was wearing that ring when he hit Vera Stanford. Did he tell you that?
Tom, I can't say anything. He
I've
told
got-
me when I was his lawyer that
Sally,
makes us privileged information.
I've got half my station out trying to find this weapon, and they've got no idea what it is they're actually looking
Tom.
for. How's the search coming?
Oh, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, only this haystack is blocks wide.
Without the weapon, we have nothing on Troy Reese. We have no witnesses, no positive identification, therefore no charge.
We're dead in the water.
PJ, I know that you don't want to hear this, but maybe it's not Troy Reese. Maybe we eliminated Frank Adams too quickly. I mean, he certainly seemed to have something to hide.
No, it's Troy. That's why he was hanging around the search today. He knows we're looking for a weapon and he's starting to get desperate.
As it happens, I've got some new information on this case. Troy Reese was wearing a ring when he bashed Mrs. Stanford. That's the weapon you're looking for.
Did Troy wear a ring? Did he wear a ring when he bashed Vera Stanford?
If he finds out I'm talking to you, he'll get me. You don't know what he's like.
Belinda, we're looking at murder now. Now, you remember you told us that you robbed the place on your own. On your own. Now, do you want to face those charges? We're looking at murder here.
I had nothing to do with it.
Belinda, for your own sake, just tell us the truth.
The old lady must have heard a noise. She went out of the room and saw Troy. He just lost it and started bashing it.
You didn't try to stop him?
I couldn't. I'd never seen him out of control like that before. There was just so much blood, I don't remember. I think I remember he started cleaning his hands. He took off the ring and was wiping it when the old lady's son came through the front door. Then Troy bolted out the back.
And what did he do with the ring from the time when he left Stanford House and when Constable Lawson picked him up a few minutes later?
Well, let's hope we finally got something that forensic can link to Vera. Till then, it's still only Belinda's word against Troy's.
I rang ahead and they should be able to get us a result within the next 12 hours.
Well, the sooner the better. Have we got photos?
Yeah, I've got some. I'll take this over now.
I'm going to take Belinda down to the pub. You want to come for a jar?
Yeah, I could use a drink. I'll see you down there.
All right.
You look like a man with something on his mind.
Obvious, is it?
Call that a publican's special gift. You want to talk?
No, thanks. It's talking that got me into trouble in the first place. I think I'll just try and keep them. Whether you or I like it or not, I had a legal and moral obligation to pass that information on to CI.
I worked for years to get where I am. And now Troy Reese has the ammunition he needs to destroy my career, and you're the one who's given it to him.
I'm sorry. I wish I could say something reassuring, but I had no choice. I had to pass it on.
We obviously have very different ideas about loyalty.
Well, I wouldn't waste too much of it on Troy Reese. And you obviously agree with me, otherwise you wouldn't have let the information slip like that.
You saying I deliberately act against my client's best interests?
I'm suggesting that putting Troy Reese behind bars would be in everybody's best interests.
George? I want the address of the man who was outside my place yesterday. The man who killed my mother. I saw him there yesterday while you were searching. Someone has got to do something about him.
I understand how difficult this is for you. I'm going to have to ask you for your patience.
Patient? I have been patient. How long am I supposed to sit around and do nothing while that bastard's walking around free?
We're hoping that we're going to have the
Well,
man.
hoping isn't what I wanted to hear.
Well, we're doing the best we can.
Well, I hope that's enough.
You look terrible. I thought you could use this.
Oh, I just couldn't sleep.
No, me either. Maybe I should have come over.
I think I would have been much company.
Listen, Pedro, we are going to get this guy, you know. He was careless with the ring. We'll get the DNA results and we'll be able to pin it on him.
I
once and
just
for all.
bloody well hope so. Here we go.
Valentine's Police, Constable McKinley speaking.
Come on, just relax, Hasham. It's only a matter of time
Right.
now.
Yep, sure, I'll let him know. PJ, that was the hospital. George Stanford's been brought in. He's pretty badly bashed.
Can you tell us what happened?
Well, when I left the hotel last night, I was very angry. I just wanted to hurt the man who killed my mother. So I asked around to see where he might be, and they said he was living in a caravan, so I just wanted to go round there. But I took a weapon with me.
What kind of a weapon?
Sort of crowbar, Jimmy thing, stupid. Anyway, when he opened the door, I just swung it at him. I've never done anything like that before in my life. He grabbed it off me and he went berserk. He started hitting me and whacking me with it. I fell down. He started kicking me and I must have gone unconscious.
George, Doing well.
I think he was trying to kill me.
You owe me one, Asham. PJ. George Stanford said he had a crowbar that confirms his story. Beautiful, Doyle.
You're up for assault. What's going on?
Come on. Get out. Come on, mate.
Get dressed.
Get out.
You blokes never give up, do you? Who am I supposed to be at this time? Some other old woman who's
Assaulting
past
George
her
Stanford.
Crap!
Hey!
Crap!
Hey!
Back off.
Hey!
You blokes have been after me since yesterday. Now he's just telling you what you want to hear. I'm supposed to have killed his mother and what?
You're under arrest.
Then I go back to finish and the rest of the family?
Do anything to understand this?
Oh, who am I supposed to be, Freddy Krueger?
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Hey!
Get in, mate. Get in.
Where were you last night?
Let's see. I was so traumatised by you turning my girlfriend against me, I bought some alcohol and drank until I passed out. I had to console myself somehow.
Can anyone verify your story?
Unfortunately for you and for me, you've taken away my best alibi. Belinda was so agreeable before we came here. She'd do pretty much anything I told her.
Where did you buy the alcohol from?
Some bottle shop. They all look the same to me.
Right, so you can't prove to me that you were at home alone, drunk, can you?
Can you prove I wasn't?
We can drive you home if you like, Mr. Stanford.
No, I prefer to wait here. I want to hear what happens to that bastard.
Are you sure you're up to it? You look like you should be resting. We can always give you a call.
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine. What are you doing here?
Heard what happened. Shut your face. Come on. Bit of a mess.
I thought you'd be on your way to Melbourne by now.
I thought I'd stick around for a bit, give it a go. What do you reckon? In any case, you look as if you need a bit of TLC.
From forensic.
They've confirmed Vera Stanford's blood and skin is on the ring. It was definitely used to hit her. And the sweat of McKinley and Lawson found has DNA from both Troy and Vera.
So we've got him. And with the evidence from Belinda, he's going to go inside a long time.
Are you sure that Belinda's not going to turn around on this?
Well, the attack on George proved what a dangerous man that Troy is, and it's best protection she can possibly have.
Boss, we wouldn't have got him without the information.
Yeah, thank you. It doesn't make me feel any better.
Sally couldn't have expected him to stay quiet. She knows him better than that, surely. Congratulations.
Do you recognise this ring?
PJ, pathology report shows that his ring caused the damage to Vera Stanford's face. How do you explain that, Troy?
This is crap. That bitch lawyer told you about the ring, and that's wrong. She can't do that.
Facing charges of murder, aggravated assault, and several counts of burglary. I don't think the magistrate's going to care too much about your relationship with your ex-lawyer,
Especially
Troy.
when they hear that you've been threatening her.
Well, that fat bastard cop told you that, and it's a lie.
Oi! Get out! Get down!
I think we can add assault police to that list of charges now. Are you ready to answer some questions, Troy?
Court, eh? I don't see why you're so pleased with yourself, Asham.
On a nice holiday, Troy.
You've only got Sally Downey's word the ring is mine. She was my lawyer. It'll never stand up in court.
Well, we've got forensic evidence and a statement from your ex-girlfriend.
Belinda wouldn't say anything to you?
Yeah? Well, she's signing a statement right now.
Belinda?
Come on, mate.
Don't do it, Belinda, you bitch! Belinda, you bitch! Don't, Belinda!
Get his legs, mate.
You bitch! You bitch! Let go! I'm calm, all right?
Shut up,
I'm
mate.
calm!
Don't make it hard for yourself. Come on.
What?
Come on. Come on.
that's it then, eh?
Yeah, what a pity the magistrate didn't see fit to release Troy Rees, eh?
Well, I think he made a very good decision. There is something about that guy that sends chills up my spine.
Hey, where do you reckon the boss is tonight?
Well, now, he was still in the office when I left. I think he might have a hot date with Sally.
Does that mean that we're going to get vanilla slices from the Brown Owl in the morning?
Been waiting long?
No, not really. What's the news?
Law Institute has scheduled a disciplinary hearing for next week.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry it's come to that.
My career's just started. I love what I'm doing. I can't believe I might have thrown it all away in one moment of carelessness.
We don't know that yet.
Tom, I divulged information that led to my client being charged.
We had enough evidence to get Troy, with or without your mistake. It wasn't an important factor in the end.
Well, it was for me, Tom. I worked too long and hard to throw it all away.
So if you're saying...
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. It's been a difficult day. Gonna go home and take a nice long bath.
Well, I thought you might want some company.
No. Not tonight. I'll give you a call.
Hey, mate!
My mother's been bashed. She's inside.
Calm down and take us
Quick,
inside.
quick.
Okay?
Stop!
I don't think so, mate. Okay, get off me.
Mount Thomas 208 to Mount Thomas Station. We've apprehended a possible suspect in the assault on Pearson Street.
An ambulance, Mount Thomas 208 to DKC. Request urgent ambulance assistance at 13 Pearson Street. One elderly female with serious head injuries. Sir, just try not to move. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Stanford, George Stanford.
George.
This is my mother, Vera.
Try not to move. Anything could be broken. All right, can you please get me a blanket for the ambulance? We've got to keep it warm until I get here. Thank you. Vera, it's okay, Vera. Are you right? Yeah. A weapon's been used to do this. Okay.
You're right now, you're safe. You're safe now, she's not going to hurt you anymore. She's not going to...
What, she? Wasn't the attacker a man?
Oh, no, it was a woman who did this. She must have broken in here, I saw her running off. Ma.
George, it's all right. We just calm down. Can I get a quick description of this woman from you, please, George? Just over here.
She was, medium build, sort of longish blonde hair, and, well, she was quite attractive, actually.
A man.
Right, okay. Now.
I kept just...
Yeah. You're all right.
But
Now.
he kept on pushing.
She wouldn't listen.
Can you give us a description at all?
No.
It's okay, take your time. No, you're okay. You're okay. All right.
You have to hurt
It's okay.
me.
Thank you, George.
Good on you. Oh, I've got your bag, Ma.
Thanks, fellas.
I'll give you a hand.
I'm sorry, sir, stand back. It's a crime. Stand back, please.
You can't stop me going in my own house. I live here.
No, who are you, sir?
Frank Adams. I live here. What's going on?
Take Mr. Rees through the interview room, thanks.
Can I have a cup of coffee, please?
Yeah, we'll see. Mr. Adams, to my office, thanks, sir. Maggie?
How long will I have to wait?
Shouldn't be too long, sir.
Just through.
So, which is the one who assaulted Vera Stanford?
Well, he's denying any connection to the assault and the burglary, but he's got a mark on his face. It could be Vera's blood if we're lucky.
Dash is out coordinating the door knock area. Hopefully somebody saw something that's going to help us.
All right, do you want to hear about Troy's prize? Nothing much for the last little while. And then 12 months ago, attempted rape on an elderly lady. Got to court, but no conviction. The victim refused to identify him.
I was just out for a jog. When someone starts chasing me down the street for no reason, I get a bit nervous.
Oh, even when they're wearing a police uniform?
Especially then.
Do you know anything about this?
No, I've never seen it before.
Well, your accomplice is using that survey to get inside people's homes.
I was just out for a jog. I don't have an accomplice.
Well, I think that you're involved in the burglary and assault of Vera Stanford this morning, Troy.
No, I wasn't.
We intend to prove that you were. Now, we also need to get a sample of that mark on your face.
What mark?
No, we'll get a court order and we'll get it tested by forensic, won't we?
I'd like a lawyer, please.
Sure.
Peter Conway, James Tulloch,